All right, let's tackle one of the trickiest puzzles in English grammar. Past simple versus present perfect. If this one has ever tripped you up, you're definitely not alone. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to feel like a grammar expert.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. Take a look at these two sentences. I went to India in 2022, and I have been to India. They look pretty similar, don't they? But that little change in the verb, it changes the entire story. One's about a finished trip, the other's about a life experience, and that, right there, is the mystery we're about to solve.
So, to crack any case, you've got to know your suspects. And in our little grammar mystery, these two tenses are suspect number 1 and 2. Let's bring them in and see what they're all about.
First up, we have the past simple. I like to call this the case closed tense. Why? Because it's all about things that are completely done, finished, over. They happened at a very specific time in the past, and that's the end of the story. You know, like, I saw that movie yesterday. Done. The case is officially closed.
And here's our other suspect, the present perfect. This one's the unfinished business tense. Yeah, it talks about the past, but it's always got one foot in the present. It has some kind of connection or a result that matters right now. It's perfect for talking about life experiences or things that happened where the exact time just isn't important. Now, what if I told you there's one golden clue, one simple rule that solves like 99% of these grammar cases? Seriously, you don't need a giant list of rules, you just need this one core idea. Ready for it? And boom, here it is. This is the whole game right here. Past simple is all about finished time. The story has a clear end date. But present perfect, that's all about a connection to now. The past action still has some relevance today. If you can just burn this one single idea into your brain, you've pretty much cracked the code. Okay, detective, we've met our suspects, we've got our golden clue, now it's time for a little side-by-side showdown. Let's lay out the evidence and see exactly how these two stack up against each other. So let's break this down. With past simple, the time is finished, right? So the question, when did it happen, has a really clear answer. Yesterday, last year. But with present perfect, there is no exact time, so asking when, it's just not the point. And that really shows you the focus. Past simple is focused only on the past. Present perfect connects the past to what's happening now. You know, every good detective looks for accomplices. Well, these words right here are the classic accomplices of the past simple. When you see words like yesterday, last week, or a specific year, they are like giant flashing neon signs screaming, use the past simple. They lock that action into a finished time. And of course, the present perfect has its own crew. Words like ever, never, yet, just, these are huge clues. See how they don't pin the action down to one specific moment? They're usually about life experiences or really recent things that affect the present. If you spot one of these, you're probably in present perfect territory. All right. Even the best detectives can fall into a trap sometimes. There are a couple of really common mistakes people make with these tenses. But don't worry, we're going to put a big spotlight on them so you can just sidestep them completely. Okay, this is the number one absolute biggest trap. You can never, ever use the present perfect, our connection to now tense, with a specific finished time word, like yesterday. They're like oil and water. They just don't mix. It's a fundamental contradiction. Remember that. Here's a perfect example. I have seen him yesterday. You can almost feel how wrong that is, can't you? Have seen is trying to connect to today, but yesterday is pulling it back into the finished past. They're fighting each other. The correct, clean way to say it is just, I saw him yesterday. Simple. Case closed. And hey, here's a quick bonus clue about two of those present perfect accomplices, for and since. This one's easy. Just remember, for talks about a length of time, a duration, like 4 or 5 years. Since tells you the starting point, like since 2015. Another classic trap is just using the wrong verb form. You gotta remember, present perfect is a team. It's always has or have plus the past participle, that V3 form. So it's never I have did, it's I have done. It's not I have went, it's I have gone. It's a small detail, but man, it makes a huge difference. Okay, you've seen all the evidence, you know the suspects, and you've got the golden clue. I think our investigation is pretty much over. Case closed. So, now it's your turn to be the lead detective. Let's solve a few quick ones together. All right, first up, I see him last week. Take a look. What's the biggest, most obvious clue in that sentence? Take a second. What do you think? And the answer is saw. Of course it is. Why? Because of our little accomplice word, last week.
That is a finished time, which means we absolutely have to use the past simple. Nice job.
Okay, next case for you. She never eats sushi. What's this sentence really about? Is it about one specific moment in the past, or something else entirely?
You got it. It's has never eaten. The word never is a massive signal that we're talking about a life experience, an experience that is true up until right now. And that's a classic job for the present perfect.
All right, one last case to crack. We live here since 2018. Think about the timeline on this one. Did this action start and finish in the past, or is there something still going on?
And the answer is have lived. That little word since is our golden clue. It tells us the action started back in 2018 and is still true today. It connects the past to the present, which is a perfect job for our unfinished business tense.
And just like that, the case is closed. You've totally nailed the difference between past simple and present perfect. You went from witness to lead detective in just a few minutes. So, now that you're the expert, what's the next big grammar puzzle you think we should crack open together?